G'day there guys, it's your Aussie hubby Marky, back at it again with another r/legal advice video. Now if you love me as much as I love you, you'd head on down to that subscribe and like button and smash the hell out of it. Now with that out of the way, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and get ready for some good content. Dad had a dog for 5 years, a girlfriend for 1. Girlfriend just stole his dog. What's next? Whatever's below hell probably, cause Satan wouldn't even want that woman. My dad's girlfriend just skipped town with his dog and is headed back to her home state 600 miles away. We have a police report filed, we have her home address, 5 years of vet records pulled, as well as messages lining up my dad getting this dog. She isn't microchipped. I'm going to dig through her adoption paperwork today and see what else we've got claiming ownership. I'm also an animal groomer and have 5 years of her grooming photos saved, further proving ownership. What do we do next? What can we do? He is heartbroken. We're in central Minnesota and she drove with the dog back to Richmond, Missouri. Freshman 50,000 says, "One thing I would suggest is to send a photo of the dog and all her information to every vet's office or animal shelter in the vicinity in case girlfriend tries to have the dog put down. Some people are truly that vindictive, and it's possible to preemptively stop a tragedy if you send an email that says, the dog in this photo was stolen from its longtime owners on X date, in X location, by X woman. Include photo of girlfriend. If seen at your institution, please call your phone number, and do not euthanize. If at all possible, do not allow her to leave with the dog." And what did the police suggest? He can ultimately sue her in court. Location matters as to whether he can sue for the dog or just money. They were going to attempt to call her. It was late last night, so we're going to regroup this morning. She's headed from central Minnesota to Richmond, Missouri. Work with the police for now, see what they can do. Hopefully they can convince her just to give you the dog without a fight. Thank you. I understand she is seen as property in the eyes of the law. We don't want any money, just our dog back. She's well vetted, receives annual dental cleanings, groomed every 4 weeks by me at my salon, fed at a top-notch food, and one of the only pugs you'll see that isn't overweight. He listens to all of my advice, walks her, and is a teacher, so he has steady hours and he hangs out with her all day every day on his summer breaks. We have regular playdates with her and my standard poodle, they're best friends. Coming strictly from an animal professional standpoint, I have nearly a decade experience with nutrition, training, handling, grooming, and coat/skincare for dogs and cats. You can't find a higher quality of life for a pet than Gracie with my dad. Update: it's been a wild few days. I joined all of the Richmond Sell It groups and found our girl listed as Lost Dog Found. My brother met them halfway between us and Richmond, and Gracie is home safe. Thank you for all the guidance and kind words. And to answer the question on why she's groomed every 4 weeks, I'm a certified canine esthetician using high-end soap-free products formulated specifically for the pH of the canine skin. Basically, pugs shed a lot, and it's crucial to get that dead coat out so her skin can function properly. It's also recommended by just about every vet ever that nail trims should be performed every 2 to 4 weeks. If it compromised her skin, we would cut back on the grooming, winky face. And our next post. Walmart refused to let me leave with the groceries that I paid for. Yesterday afternoon, I, 34, female, took my 4-year-old son and 2-year-old daughter grocery shopping at Walmart in Irvine, California. I was waiting on my next paycheck, so I bought $175 of groceries with $300 in the bank. The cashier kept asking me to swipe my card, saying the transaction did not go through. I checked my bank balance with my Wells Fargo app and found that Walmart had already charged me the $175 for groceries. I asked for a manager to come and fix the situation. Manager assured me the charge would drop off. He asked for my bank card to call my bank. He said he wanted to look at the customer service phone number, so I told him the phone number. I also called my bank. They opened a claim and said they would email me the claim number, but I checked my inbox and I did not receive an email from them. I asked the manager to try to contact his supervisor to see if the situation could be fixed so I could leave with my groceries, as Walmart had already charged me for them, and with the transaction pending, I did not have enough funds available to buy more groceries. Manager refused to contact his supervisor. He said he's not here. So I ended up having to leave a full cart of groceries with this manager in tears and drive to the Wells Fargo to explain the situation. They told me there was nothing they could do as long as the charge was pending. They said to call them as soon as the charge went through. I called Walmart customer service and explained the situation and emailed their corporate office. This morning, the charge went through. I called Wells Fargo and let them know, and they emailed me a claim number. I also emailed Walmart customer service again. As a single working mum of 2 young children, $175 is a lot of money to me. That was the grocery budget I had been able to set aside for the entire month for me and the kids. What can I do to make sure I get my grocery money back? Someone said, if the charge went through, you need to get a hold of that Walmart's cash office or CSM/CSS to find the completed transaction. With the info from the receipt, you can either refund the transaction or grab your items. If it's still pending, you need to wait 24 hours and call the credit debit hotline for Walmart. The cash office or CSM can give you the number. It can take hours to go this route. I would wait at least 2 days before going this route. Regardless, call 1-800-WALMART. If the store won't do anything, corporate will get involved. I don't know how prompt they are on emails, but phone calls are answered typically within 5 minutes. You may make it out on top if they offer you gift cards. You can also ask to talk to the store manager or market manager if the store is still dragging its feet. Well, that's some good advice. Now it's on to the update. Update: Walmart refused to let me lease with the groceries I paid for. Hi guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the thoughtful and kind responses. It really helped me take a proactive approach instead of letting worry sit in the driver's seat. I looked at my bank account this morning and the purchase was reversed. In addition to advice regarding contacting my bank, you guys gave excellent advice about what to do in a situation where I might fall short on food again, which can definitely happen when you're living paycheck to paycheck. And I hope anyone who ever finds themselves in this situation remembers they can always visit a local food pantry in an emergency food shortage. I only posted that original post on this forum, so any similar posts on other forums are not me. But having this happen made me aware of it being a possibility, and also something others might go through. My situation has a happy ending, and I believe a lot of that had to do with you guys, so thank you. I forgot to add my location, Irvine, California, to this post. Thank you guys again for being so kind and supportive. And our next post is a little bit more of a sour note, I guess. Boyfriend was taken off of life support, and his family wants to pack up his things from our shared home. I'm currently pregnant and trying to figure out what my next steps are with this whole situation. We live in Arizona. My boyfriend had a drug overdose and was on life support. I knew that isn't what he would want and made that clear to his family. He has been taken off, but now they are saying they need to get back home. They live in another state, so they want to come pack up his things. My problem with this is that he has been estranged from his family for years and has made it clear that he wouldn't want them to have anything. We shared a living space, and I don't want his family going through all of our stuff and taking what they want of his. My question is, can I refuse to allow them into our home? I know they are next of kin, and I have to give them his stuff, but would I be able to just pack up his stuff and give it to them instead of them coming and going through everything? And Tardy May says, I will echo what the others have said about they cannot enter the house, and your child is their heir, and things need to probate before property can be distributed. That said, you can ask if there are some particular keepsakes, ones with sentimental value only, they are interested in. Things like some photos, stuffed animals, etc., but things with monetary value, jewelry, car, tools, furnishings, etc., need to go through probate. If they ask after items with monetary value, tell them politely but firmly that since there is a baby on the way, the estate must go through probate. Finally, may memories of good times spent with him bring you smiles on life's cloudy days. May his good works on earth endure. And that's all I have to say about that one. There is not an update, but I wanted to keep this one in there because I think some people need to hear this sometimes, because we all lose loved ones sometimes in our lives and we don't know what to do. Anyway guys, let's get on to the next story. Amazon delivered my expensive product without honoring signature delivery and it got stolen. Texas. So this is the first time I've ever had to deal with something like this, and I am at a real loss and almost in tears right now. I have been saving up for months to be able to get my significant other a great gift to help her in her career, a brand new camera, and I ordered one a couple of days ago on Amazon. As I ordered, I made sure it had signature at delivery because I have had other less expensive items stolen from my doorstep before and learned better. Fast forward day of delivery, and I receive a notification on my phone that the delivery was made, and with the picture and everything, and flabbergasted by this, I rush home. Was an hour away at a dinner with friends. When I get home, the item isn't there. I proceed to contact Amazon, who tells me to wait 24 hours. After that, I contact them again, and after 3 hours and 15 transfers later, the gist is we will open an investigation into the matter, come back in 3 days. But during one of the conversations, one of the agents told me they checked the tracking number, and nowhere in the tracking was there any specification for signature required at delivery. I feel like I'm being duped or lied to because I have the screenshot that says signature required at delivery before I ordered. I don't know where this is going to go or what legal alternatives I might have in this situation, but any help would be really appreciated. Now, Steve the Pirate 91 says, the quickest way I've had Amazon refund me for a stolen package was to file a police report and give that information to them. I'm guessing since you got a picture of it on your doorstep, it was delivered by Amazon itself. Well, a contractor of Amazon. If it was USPS, talk to the postmaster and take the police report there as well. I had a computer PCU get stolen, which is around $400. Product page said it would require signature due to high value of item. Well, just like you, it didn't. Amazon gave me the runaround, but once I reported a theft to the police and got that report, they refunded me instantly. Now my police department really didn't want me to do anything about it. I had no video proof, no one saw, etc. So there wasn't anything for them to go off of. Still, push them into doing it. I didn't think of this, but I will be sure to try it. Was there a specific way you went about it, or process you took to get them to refund or replace after filing the report? It would be really helpful to know. Thank you very much for the advice and Merry Christmas. If all else fails, file a chargeback. You will get your Amazon account terminated, but you'll get your money back. I've charged back Amazon after they denied my claim for a third-party sale, and they didn't terminate my account. So I guess there's probably some sketchy stuff going on there. Who knows? Anyway, on to the update, guys. I went straight to the police station once I could and was able to file a police report, and made sure to get a copy of everything. I proceeded to call Amazon this time, rather than chat, and make sure to explain everything to them in detail, and also include the fact that I had filed a police report and was able to get them to refund my money. I just want to thank everyone who commented, especially those who advised me to file a police report and to call rather than chat with them. I feel it really made a big difference. Thank you so much for all the advice. I wish you all a happy new year. Alright. Our next post was posted by user SavonTrep, titled, I'm an exempt employee in the state of Florida. My employer was closed on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. I didn't have any available vacation time or personal time off to cover those days. However, I, along with several other employees, was docked the pay from those days in my paycheck. Is this legal for them to do this? Does it mean I am entitled to pay for any non-standard work times? Like when I work after hours, on weekends, or on my days off? What recourse do I have? Should I contact an attorney? Are you paid by the hour or a salary? Because it is possible to be hourly and exempt. I'm salaried. Then your weekly salary can only be docked in a week you perform work for limited reasons, and work closure isn't one of them. Google FLSA salary basis and show this to your employer and explain your salary cannot be docked. And now to the update for that story. Employer didn't pay several of us for a day when the company was closed. You guys helped me and several others get paid. Thank you. So after some research and still not quite understanding the law here in Florida, I made that post a while ago. The answers were right along the lines of what I was thinking and gave me the confidence to go to my employer and demand payment. I was a little worried about retribution, but I figured the law was on my side, so what the hell. Not only did they cut me a check, but 7 other employees who were affected by this were paid as well. No signs of retribution either. It turned out, at least this is what I'm being told, so who really knows, that the HR manager misinterpreted the law. Once this person read it again, they started to have doubts themselves, then contacted our corporate lawyers, who told the HR manager that we must be paid. So thank you. Alright, these next 2 ones admittedly don't have updates or follow-ups afterwards, but I thought they were interesting, niche issues, and I wanted to read them and some answers out. Feel free to tell me what you would do in these circumstances in the comments below also. My mum wants to terminate her parental rights because I don't want to have an abortion. I'm 16 years old and live in Pennsylvania. The people at the clinic wouldn't do an abortion after I said my mum was forcing me. They told my mum it has to be my decision. My mum said she's going to the courthouse to give up her parental rights. Can she do this? Editing because some people are being really rude. I know what my options are. I know that she can kick me out when I turn 18. I know that I need a plan. I'm 16, not an idiot. I literally just want to know if she can terminate her parental rights immediately. There's a difference between having almost 2 years to plan for myself and my baby, which I'm not even sure I want to have yet. I am just still thinking about my choices, and being kicked out onto the street immediately while pregnant. So, someone says, no, that isn't a thing. Cat of the Decade says, no, and this is your decision. Because you are both a minor, under 18, and over the age of consent, 16, you're in a place where people might get confused about your decision. State law grants you the sole legal right to make this decision, no matter what. There are local organizations that can help you enforce your rights. Services like Morningstar and Planned Parenthood can help educate you about how to protect your rights, and can help advocate for you if you run into trouble. They can also direct you to resources that can help you move forward. Good luck. And because you said you want to keep the baby, here is a statewide list of pregnancy centers. It's on payprolife.org that will focus on pro-life options, such as raising the child yourself or putting it up for adoption. Contrary to popular hysteria, Planned Parenthood also provides both pro-life and pro-choice options. OP says, thank you. The people were very nice and explained why it was my decision. Right now, I'm worried because she wants to kick me out of the house. And Cat of the Decade says, if you do get kicked out of the house, immediately contact one of those agencies. Sadly, you are not the first, and won't be the last to go through that. They can connect you with the resources that can help, including Emergency Safe Shelter. If neither of those agencies are able to provide immediate help, call the police. Because you are still a child as far as the law is concerned, your parents are required by law to provide you with safe housing and to fulfill all your needs, such as food and medical care. They cannot relinquish this on their own, no matter what. Can they disallow the newborn child from their home? They would have to find alternative safe housing for their daughter and the baby. So this one continues to go down a rabbit hole. You guys are welcome to go and find the post if you'd like, or just tell me what you think of it in the comments. Because this is one that I'd be confused about also if I was in the situation. Anyway, on to the next post. Massachusetts. Neighbors and their friends are trespassing on my property to get to my lake via private dock. What liability am I looking at? I recently purchased a lakefront cabin with a private dock. The cabin is located at the end of a peninsula. This Sunday, I visited it and discovered about 10 people in the frozen lake and a giant pickup truck parked on my property. As I was getting out of the car, the neighbor, whom I've never met, walked past me with her 2 dogs and a pizza and approached my dock. I saw a guy from the group of 10 meet her on my dock, and she gave him the pizza. I told them they were on private property and that they were trespassing, even though there's signs saying so. And the guy seemed understanding, but the neighbor replied, "I've been doing this for 8 years." At which point I replied, personally, I didn't care. But what I didn't want was the liability of someone possibly getting hurt. They didn't reply, and I left it at that. They did move the truck, but I left, so I don't know if they moved anything back or continued to use my dock. What kind of liability am I looking at here? How should I best protect myself? Also, in Massachusetts, the Attorney General has decided not to prosecute some crimes, trespassing being one of them. I don't know what bearing, if any, this may have. I strongly suggest buying homeowners insurance for the property, with decent limits of liability. Not being liable does not keep you from being sued, but insurance will cover legal fees and damages for you. And an umbrella policy. Umbrella gives you unlimited legal resources, with the policy amounts being used for a judgment against you. This will also cover you liability worldwide, and usually cost less than $300 a year for $1 million. It will also fill gaps in your home, like defamation, etc. Also, usually you will see a discount if you max out your liability on your home or auto, and make sure you list anything you have insured or land you own. You don't want to give anyone a chance to say you didn't disclose it at all or carry the right underlying limits. Mass is a little weird when it comes to insurance, but from what I remember, it's most just the auto part, but last time I wrote the state was about 6 years ago, so double check they don't have special rules. Edit, I also forgot if this is not your primary home, you would get a secondary policy on it, which you probably have. Remember, most of the time these don't have liability, because it should extend from your primary policy, so make sure you have enough liability on that to cover the assets you own. Not the property amounts, but personal liability. Now, that's a whole bunch of legal jargon I don't really understand myself, so if you want to translate it in the comments, I'd be more than happy to have you do that for me. But a lot of the times I'm just reading these comments because I feel like it enriches the knowledge you guys already have and helps fill some of us in. Anyway guys, I'm gonna go on to our last stories now. By Singularize, mother-in-law suing my wife for grandparents' rights. So today in the mail, we received a letter from the county court of where my mother-in-law lives, and she is suing us for grandparents' rights. A little backstory. Court's based in upstate New York. Over the last almost 8 years, me and my wife have been together. Her parents always have despised me because I was a punk city boy, and my wife was a good country girl. We moved in after 6 months, and have been happy together since. We got married back in 2015, so we're coming up on a 4-year anniversary, and things got better for a while until we bought our first house, and I got a job where I started making a lot of money. Me and my wife now live a very comfortable life, nice cars, house, etc. Back on Thanksgiving of last year is when crap hit the fan. Her mother said some very hurtful stuff about me and my wife to my brother-in-law's girlfriend. My wife and her are very close, so she tells her everything, and once the beans were spilled, my wife confronted her mother about it. Her mum made every excuse under the sun instead of just saying sorry, she was wrong. We know she said it because there was text proof. We haven't talked to her only once or twice since Thanksgiving. Today we received a letter in the mail from her county court, suing for grandparents' rights. Everything I have read, they can only sue if we are unfit to be parents. My wife and I don't have any alcohol, drug problems, or trouble with the law. We have been happily married for almost 4 years, and our kids are well taken care of, no debt, etc. We also never once stated ever she could not see the children, not verbally or over text. We just sold our house yesterday, expected close is early May, and then we are moving to South Carolina. This has been a plan for years, and we finally acted on it back in December. Does she have any grounds to stand on? Does New York have any laws to that effect where they could force us to give them the kids for visitation? Can this stop our move from happening and screw up the sale of my house? Any advice is much appreciated. Edit, thank you for everyone who has commented on this post. I am trying to read over them all, and you guys are amazing. I plan to consult a lawyer so we cannot have this hiccup our plans to move. But holy crap, I didn't expect these responses, you people rock. Update, we double checked over the doc, and it's nothing just yet. She filed in her county, and they transferred it to mine. My wife is calling tomorrow to see what the next steps are so we can get it rolling prior to our move. Thank you for all of your support, and I will catch up on comments at work tomorrow. It means more than any of you know. Also, she filed the junction the day after we posted our house officially for sale. I looks clear as day that she is attempting to block my move, as well as a few other stories rolled through DMs last night about more or less her not having a relationship won't hold up in court, and my mum said the same thing, she is a paralegal. Well, it's hard to get through those sentences without any full stops or commas, really, but yeah, good on them. And our final update, mother-in-law suing for grandparents' rights. So we have court 4th of the 10th or 10th of the 4th, which is actually best case scenario as our home is now sold, and we close early May. We passed this by our realtor, whom had supporting documentation of us moving back when we talked to her in May of 2018, stating we were going to move south. She is so awesome, she wrote a letter stating we were moving prior to all of this happening, and got it notarized by the state. This should be a slam dunk, and the judge will likely ask why you were wasting my time. Her reason for the requested visitation is, she loves her grandkids very much and deserves to be part of their life. Per the law, she has no leg to stand on, and this is not a valid reason she would be able to get visitation. Even if she does, we are moving, and I don't believe New York State can stop that. One last thing about this is the petition she filled out, my son's birthday isn't even correct. It's off by 4 days. Court date is the 10th of May. We'll update once court is completed. Edit, the legislation link is here. Section 17-22. For anyone who is concerned regarding the child's best interest, I appreciate everyone's concern regarding a lawyer, but I feel confident we have this handled. I initially made these posts for people actual real-life experiences, not a bunch of other people telling me I'm ignorant or an idiot for not having a lawyer. I received multiple DMs of people telling me their story, and they encouraged my decision as mine is nowhere near severe. Anyone else's I have read or heard. Well, that's a topic that's covered a lot in Just No Mother-in-Law with the grandparents' rights, in all honesty. I'm glad that they don't get away with it most of the time. Tell me what you guys think of that one down in the comments below. As always, I love your faces, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!